Welcome back everybody. Just like my previous video about Luke and Rey, this video will contain huge spoilers about Finn and Rose with a little bit of Poe and DJ as well. And it could potentially ruin your viewing experience when you go and see The Last Jedi. Please make sure you are willing to be spoiled before you watch the rest of the video. Okay, let's take a look. Finn woke with a start. He was in a makeshift medical bay on a Resistance ship, dressed in a strange Bacta suit. Sirens were blaring, the ship rocked with a sudden boom, and Resistance troopers dashed by. The evil First Order had arrived. The Resistance was under attack. Finn needed to find someone he knew. His memory was hazy from the battle on the First Order's Starkiller base. "Buddy," Finn heard a familiar voice. It was Poe. Finn was glad to see his friend, but he only had one question on his mind. Where's Rey? Poe explained that the leader of the Resistance, General Leia Organa, had asked Rey to find Leia's brother, Luke Skywalker, the Last Jedi. The Resistance had won the battle on Starkiller base, but the First Order had tracked them down. The Resistance needed Luke's help to defeat the First Order once and for all. General Leia told Finn that they were on the run from the First Order in deep space. They had jumped to light speed, so the fleet was safe for the time being. The First Order couldn't track them through hyperspace, or so they thought. Proximity alert, Admiral Akbar shouted. Just then, a Mega Star Destroyer and 30 Star Destroyers leaped out of hyperspace in front of them. Somehow, the First Order had tracked the fleet. The Resistance was in trouble. Poe ran to his X-Wing. He had to do something to join the fight. "Don't wait for me," Poe called out to BB-8, who rolled on ahead of him at top speed. "Jump in and fire her up." Suddenly, the First Order warrior, Kylo Ren, blasted the hangar bay from his TIE silencer. Poe's X-Wing and the other Resistance ships exploded in a shower of sparks. Poe and BB-8 were okay, but the fleet of smaller ships was destroyed. "We need to get out of range of the Star Destroyers," urged Poe. "Full engines ahead," Leia added. The Resistance was in real danger. Finn didn't know what he should do. BB-8 projected a hologram from when Rey had said goodbye to Finn, before she left to find Luke. Then Finn knew exactly what to do. He would go find Rey and help her. But a young Resistance technician named Rose stopped Finn from sneaking away in an escape pod. Rose hated traitors. Her sister had given her life for the Resistance during an earlier battle with the First Order. Rose zapped Finn using a small electro stun prod. She would turn him in for desertion. When Finn came to, he explained to Rose that the First Order had tracked the Resistance through hyperspace, but Rose knew a thing or two about the new technology, including that it could only track something from a single source. That meant only the main First Order ship was tracking them through hyperspace. Maybe Finn and Rose could disable the tracking device on the main First Order ship so the Resistance could escape without being followed. They ran their idea past Poe. It was risky, but Poe liked risky ideas. They would just need a code breaker to crack the First Order clearance codes to get on board. Fortunately, their friend, Maz Kanata, knew a master code breaker who could help them. He lived in the glamorous city of Canto Bight on Cantonica. So Finn and Rose boarded a small Resistance ship and left for Canto Bight. But they weren't alone. BB-8 had stowed away on board. When they arrived in Canto Bight, Finn was in awe of the glitz and glamour of the casino. He had been raised by the First Order as one of their stormtroopers and had never seen so much wealth or flash in all his life. Canto Bight seemed like paradise to him. Rose just tried to keep Finn focused. Maz said this master codebreaker would have a red plum bloom on his lapel. She reminded Finn, "Let's find him and get out of here." Meanwhile, one of the patrons had mistaken BB-8 for a game machine. BB-8 happily accepted the alien's free credits. While Finn and BB-8 were enjoying Canto Bight, Rose was not. She explained to Finn that the patrons of Canto Bight didn't care about the First Order or the Resistance. They didn't care about right or wrong. They only cared about money. Finn started to understand. It all seemed so beautiful on the outside, but knowing that his friends were putting their lives in danger to save the galaxy while the people on Canto Bight looked the other way made him sick. BB-8 rolled up to Finn and Rose beeping about a red plum bloom. It was the master codebreaker. He was at a table nearby. This was it. Maz had told them that the Master Codebreaker would help the Resistance. All Finn and Rose needed to do was introduce themselves and they would be on their way. Suddenly, Canto Bight police stepped in, blocking Finn and Rose from the Master Codebreaker. The police had found a crashed ship on the beach and traced it back to Finn and Rose. They had been caught. Finn and Rose were thrown into a prison cell. Time was running out. The Resistance could outrun the First Order only for so long. Just then, a scruffy man named DJ grunted awake in the corner of their cell. DJ said he could bust them out of jail, crack the First Order clearance codes, and sneak them on board the First Order's Star Destroyer. Finn and Rose were doubtful, but they didn't really have any better options. Meanwhile, BB-8 had snuck into jail to help his friends. The prison was heavily guarded, but BB-8 noticed that the guards were distracted by a game. Getting past them would almost be too easy. Back in the cell, DJ pressed a few buttons and smacked the heavy door and the cell actually opened. Finn and Rose were shocked. It was as though he had done it 1,000 times before. Finn and Rose were one step closer to completing their mission. Thanks to DJ and BB-8, they would soon be on their way to disabling the First Order's tracking system, saving the Resistance, and maybe even freeing the galaxy. So there you have it, peoples. I think this is Act 1 through to maybe Act 2, but hopefully nobody leaks Act 3. Hope you enjoyed the video. Leave your thoughts down below. To stay updated with this channel, hit that notification bell. Thanks for dropping by and for your continued support. Don't forget to like, share, sub, and all that good stuff. And until next time, see yous.